We're here with Derek Thomas of Thomas Landscapes. How are you, sir?
Good. How are you, Tony?
I'm doing very well. A little chilly out here today.
It's a little brisk. Yeah. I think it's a little bit cooler than it was earlier this morning.
Well, it's time for us to do our segment, Ask the Garden Guy. And these are questions that literally people have, people see you on the streets and what have you, and they say, hey, I got a question for you.
Right. Or they send them in to the website or through Facebook. So, yeah, definitely.
All right. Well, you're nice enough to answer them. Let's start with a question from Michael in DuPont Circle. The question is, last year my herb garden was overrun with weeds. I don't want to use chemicals to prevent weeds. What do you recommend that will help me have a great garden and not loads of weeds? Good question.
Okay, a lot of people are going organic. What you can do, mulch has been used for years as a weed preventative. But what you can do is use things like paper towels, newspaper, or even a paper bag.
Yeah, okay.
The one thing to make sure, if you're using newspaper, make sure that the ink, and you can usually call the paper that's producing the paper, find out if they're using a soy-based ink. Because if you are using a newspaper, you don't want to use an ink that has chemicals in it.
Okay.
What you can do with if you're using the paper towels, is you can take and cut an opening and put that around your existing herbs. What that's going to do is give you the ability to then go back and mulch over that. And it's going to help prevent the weeds.
And over time, does that biodegrade?
That biodegrades. That's the reason that we're using paper. Now, the other thing that you can do is you can take the paper bag, you make a cut in it, you take your herb plant, you plant it down in there. Once again, we're going to mulch around that. And then, Tony, I know you've got a couple more segments, so stand back a little bit there. And what you want to do at that point is just water all of that down. What that's going to do is help keep that in place. You can put some more mulch over top of it, and you can cut more slits as you decide that you need to plant more plants. The weeds aren't going to be able to germinate, but yet you will be able to have good vegetables organically.
All right. Tell me how much time I've got left, please. 2 minutes. All right, we're at the 2-minute mark. Which question do you want to go to?
The next question is the one about the grasses.
All right. This is from Kathy from Glover Park. My ornamental grasses have become overgrown. Is it difficult to divide them?
It is not difficult. What you want to make sure is that this grass it doesn't have much of an edge, but what you want to make sure is if your grasses do have an edge, you use gloves, you cut it like that, and then you can take some bigger shears and actually get down in there. Don't be afraid of it. Get down in there, cut, and pull apart at the roots. And what you want to end up with is 2 or more grass plants. And it's a little tough to get in there, but once you get it apart, you end up with this will grow a brand new plant.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, great. We have 1 minute left. Question from Susan, Capitol Hill. I've been given gift plants for the holidays, rosemary and some tulips. What do I do with them now? The rosemary lived in a pot all winter, but I want to plant it in the ground. Will it live? I was told the tulips would not live, but I would like to try to plant them. Is it worth it? Help.
Tulips aren't worth it. Tulips have been totally bred out, but if you want to try with the tulips, cut off the spent blooms, make sure they don't go to seed, give it a try. But really, tulips are so inexpensive that you can go ahead and just get new ones in the fall. Rosemary is a perennial. It's a fabulous herb. What you want to make sure is you take the foil off of that, get rid of that, and then you also want to get the plant out of the pot. The big thing is you want to make sure that there's no roots that are really like a mesh. These roots look nice and healthy, but when you do go to plant it, break it apart so that when you put it into the ground, you get a good start, and the rosemary will last for years.
You are the man. Great answers. Ask the Garden Guy, Derek Thomas. Thank you very much.
Tony, I've got a little bit of dirty hands.
Where's that spray? We'll be right back. There you go.
We've got some water there.
The Fox5 weather app. Look 10 days ahead or hour by hour. View today's video forecast and radar that can pinpoint your neighborhood free at your app store or Android market.